Hey guys, so I'm Kathy. I'm the lead intake and marketing specialist here at Support Inc. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. We're very happy to have you all on this call with us. As you know, this webinar is going to be on YouTube, and we're just providing some updates with the expansion, how things have gone the last year and a half or so. Joining me today is Brian Sluzars, Public Relations Director. Intake and Public Relations Director. And then we also have Kayla, Lead Intake and Marketing Specialist as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. Can you guys see this okay? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so with Support Inc., the agency was founded back in 1989. Dennis Kirkman found out that there was a need for someone to take over a social service agency, and they were providing services for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities in apartment settings. Nowadays, that's PCA, Personal Care Alternative. So he caught wind of the former founder needing to move out of state suddenly. So Dennis Kirkman decided to dive in and get started with continuing the process that agency had started. We are proud to say that a handful of those individuals that we had started to serve 1989, almost 40 years ago, are still with us, which is pretty awesome and speaks to the continuity of our services. Ever since then, we have grown quite a bit. So we have many locations across the Front Range, as you'll see. I know when I started here, gosh, 9 years ago, we had the Loveland location. The Colorado Springs location came soon after that, and then you'll see everything else that we have on the next slide. So if you're not aware already, we do work with family caregivers, host home providers, and individuals living in an apartment setting. So adults over the age of 18, anybody on the DD waiver, we really try to serve people to the best of our ability. This is the overall vision. So when we first got started with this, we realized that there was a need to expand on day services, especially after COVID, because so many places across the Front Range and beyond had shut down. So we saw this as an opportunity to provide better services and care. So if you see this map, like I mentioned earlier, we had the Loveland location already, but we did move it. Back in January of 2025, we launched a new office and moved from one setting to the next. Sterling was our first big open house. That was back in July 2024, I believe. As you'll see, we kind of started up north. It just so happened to pan out that way. We opened Greeley last year in July. I believe we have over 25 people attending that day program, which is amazing. The growth has been great with that branch. We also opened Arvada this year, Littleton, and then we opened up another location in Colorado Springs after the first office had to be demolished. And then for our PCR folks on here, whom we love, we have a location in Pueblo, Pueblo Community Resources. We also have Nostalgia, Williams World as well. So that's going to be Denver. And then Aurora is our main location there towards the right, as you'll see. So yeah, that's all of the locations that we have so far, and still possibly looking at Grand Junction and Durango in the future, just kind of to be determined. So the dream is to have day services at all these locations along with clinical and residential. I'll go ahead and kick it over to Brian now.
Thank you, Kathy. It's cool to see that map come to fruition. We had that for a couple years now, so it's really cool to see kind of all those offices pan out. As Kathy mentioned, I'm Brian. I'm our Director of Intake and Public Relations here at Support Inc. Just going to talk about a little bit further about that expansion. But Kathy laid it out well. But yeah, really for the reason for that expansion was twofold. So first one, during COVID and post-COVID, we really saw day programs kind of disappear throughout the state of Colorado. We saw it as a huge need, not only for our clients internally, but just externally. So we wanted to provide more day services to individuals throughout the state of Colorado and within our services. And then on top of that, we're a larger agency in the state of Colorado. We hear that a lot. So, which I think comes with better resources, more resources, but we wanted to be more local. So when we started this vision, it was to open up more offices, to provide more day programs to people in Colorado, and to be more local with the people we serve. So if you lived in Littleton, you were maybe being served by a residential coordinator and residential team that was located in Aurora or Broomfield. So that's where that residential realignment came in. So we wanted our teams to be local. So if you're in the Littleton area, you are now served by residential coordinators, day program managers, et cetera, who live in your community, which is really important to us, to be local, to be part of the communities. So that was really the main vision, which has come to fruition, which is really cool. It is kind of bittersweet. We really completed that map. We're kind of at a point where we feel good. We really want to enhance our services. We're not necessarily in previous webinars like this. We were talking about looking in Louisville and Brighton, and not to say we aren't, but we're kind of at to the point where we feel pretty good about the offices we have, and we want to enhance those services. So we really want to focus on providing really good comprehensive services in Littleton, in Colorado Springs, in those areas. So it's super exciting. Gets to the next bullet point. So just more community engagement and wraparound services. So we really want to enhance that this year. Myself, Kathy being kind of part of the intake marketing, plus with our residential day programs, we really want to provide more events, more gatherings, more meetings at our local offices. So we want to host more things in Loveland, in Greeley, in Littleton, Aurora. So that will be a goal this year, coming to you soon. We'll be working on that. And then just good to point out the Medicaid disruptions this year. Not stopping anything we're doing, but expecting it to be a hard year. Lots been floated around there. Still not really sure what we'll go through July 1st, the fiscal year. It's looking like maybe 1% or 2% rate cut across the board. So just expecting it to be a hard year from that perspective, not only for us, but our individuals and services, our families. So important to point that out. But hopefully we can be a support system as we've always been and enhance that over the next year or so. So yeah, just kind of to recap, the new offices we opened in 2005 and 2026. So we opened Loveland, Greeley in 2025, and then we opened Arvada, Colorado Springs, and Littleton this year, which has been super cool. And then that brings our total current offices to Aurora, Arvada, Colorado Springs, Denver, as Kathy mentioned, is Nostalgia, which is an agency we partner with. They provide services to individuals that live independently. Their program is awesome. So if your loved one or anyone you know wants to live on their own or lives on their own, connecting with Nostalgia is awesome. Their program is phenomenal for PCA settings. Greeley is supporting Littleton, Loveland, Pueblo, as Kathy mentioned, is our Pueblo Community Resources team, which provides comprehensive services, so day program, residential, and clinical down there. They're an awesome partner in the Pueblo community. And then Sterling is supporting, and they're just residential services only right now. Our hope is to provide day program services out there one day. It is obviously a huge need out there. So yeah, that's kind of where we sit right now. What comes next is we're doing a grand reopening of our Aurora office, which is super exciting. We put a lot of focus on these new offices over the last 2 years. So we put a focus on Aurora over the last 3 to 6 months. We renovated, we kind of redid a lot of stuff in the Aurora office. It looks kind of completely different, which is awesome. We're hosting our grand reopening next Tuesday, a week from today, April 28th. So please come by. We'll have the downstairs and upstairs open. We were talking yesterday that for the longest time at our Aurora events, it was just downstairs. So we're excited to show off the upstairs part of the office when we gather next Tuesday for that open house, that re-grand opening. As I mentioned, we want to do more regionalized events, meetings, gatherings. So look forward to hosting those this year. And then more services, more locations as needs arise. As you saw on that map, we hear all the time from people throughout the state that Western Slope, Grand Junction, Durango, they need service providers out there. So that's why it's on our map. It's been on our map. We would love to serve those areas. It's a big lift, hence why we haven't done it yet. But still a focus. And if it kind of comes to fruition, it'd be awesome. But yeah, just when we see a need, we kind of want to meet it. That's why I mentioned Brighton. That northeastern Colorado is kind of an area that none of our offices really hit, and it's a huge need throughout the state. So maybe there. So maybe more to come, but at this point, we feel really good about our offices all along the Front Range and really just want to enhance our services in those offices. So that is kind of the recap of our expansion. We host these webinars quarterly. I think this might be our last one about expansion for a while, which again is bittersweet. It's been a cool run, but I think we've hit a wall with our expansion. I think everyone's kind of knows what it is, which is super exciting. I think past this one, we'll get back to more. Prior to the expansion, we did webinars on kind of benefits, had guest speakers, a special needs trust, things like that. So I think as we move forward with these webinars, we'll kind of gear them more towards that, kind of our additional services, guest speakers, things like that. But that's our expansion. It's been super exciting. And yeah, hopefully we are providing more services and better services to whoever you are and wherever you live. With that, I will stop talking. I'll open it up to the group. Kathy, Kayla, I don't know if I missed anything. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free.
Yeah. No, I think that covers it pretty well. Like I know we've talked for a few years now about seeing this expansion come to fruition, as you mentioned, and then just seeing everybody at these new day programs and the open houses. It's been super exciting and really fun to be a part of everything. So excited to get more people into day program as quickly as we can, just because we know there's such a huge need for it. So.
Yeah, well said. That's actually something, another thing we'll be doing, me, Kayla, and Kathy, over the next few months is really just highlighting our day program services. For the longest time at Supporting, we were very residential focused. We're now, with our focus on day program over the last 3 years, we provide awesome day program services. So we're looking forward to highlighting those services over the next few months, probably just like email campaigns to everyone within our network so you can see what's going on at our day programs when they're all those offices, all those day programs are joining up at a Rockies game, which happened 2 weeks ago. So we really want to highlight those cool things and yeah, hopefully
So,
more people
Brian,
can join.
while
Yeah.
you talk about day programs, could you give us, because the it used to be just primarily the day program in Aurora. Can you kind of talk about what the day programs do? Are they community based? Are they location based? Kind of, for me personally, Patrick loves the community. He would meet everyone, but he does need that additional support when out there. So can you describe a little bit more of the day programs, their locations, and kind of what that looks like?
Yeah, for sure. Our day program managers do a better job. Specifically Nikki, our one up north, she is on PTO this week. But yeah, it's a
Well, we have
combination of
three on here right now. I'm looking at you
yeah.
guys, not to put you on the spot.
No, yeah. So I'll speak to the kind of overall philosophy, what they do, and then yeah, if any day program managers want to tie in, Brandy Dixon, I can see on my screen, she's phenomenal. Down in the spring, she's been doing it a long time. But yeah, it's a combination of community based, facility based, really tailored to the individual, to the groups. We really try and personalize it. It's skill building plus just having fun. Like our manager Nikki says that well. They'll go out, they'll do events where it's focusing on money management, going to the mall, and then they'll just go play laser tag after that. So it's really a combination of skill building plus fun in the community. We want to tie those two things together. And then, yeah, it's really community based and facility based. So some individuals want to stay at the office some days and do art and other things. Some individuals really want to get out in the community every day, all day. So we really try to tie those things together, tailor it to the individual, to the groups. And then yeah, they're always doing cool things. Like I said, April 8th, all of them, Pueblo, Arvada, they all joined up at the Rockies game, which was really cool. So sometimes the offices will do things together. I know they went to the zoo. So yeah, really, I think it's those two big pillars is we want to build skills, especially if that's what the individual wants. And we want them to have fun because all of us want that too. So that's kind of the overall philosophy. We're trying to provide more transportation. That's a huge one. People want that kind of door-to-door transportation. So we've invested in vans and cars over the last year or so. Still kind of case by case, but we're providing more transportation. So that's been a big one. But yeah, Brandy, anyone who wants to add to that? I don't know who else is on here.
Um, for me, when it comes to day program, one of the biggest focuses, whether it's community-based or center-based, we really like to focus on gaining more independence for our individuals. A lot of them, they're capable of doing things. They just need a little bit of extra help to learn some of those skills. And then as far as the community piece, the integration, there's a lot of stigma around anybody with a disability. So it's not only teaching our individuals about the community, but teaching the community about our individuals and really getting them, incorporated into the community so they can create those personal relationships. If we frequent somewhere pretty, often, then they know them by name. They, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. So we really like to kind of focus on that too.
Well said. Anyone else? Day program wise? That was super helpful.
Is there anything you want to add, Mark? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, Mark. They run an awesome program down in Pueblo.
One of the things that as a whole across the board that we're working on with our day programs is volunteer work. One of the things here in Pueblo that we've done is we have a group called the Peer Group that volunteers at the Cooperative Care Center that fills up food baskets for the homeless. We also go to different nursing homes to do activities with the elderly and also partner with the Nature and Raptor Center here in Pueblo, as well as the Pueblo Mountain Park. So it just opens up community connections with different groups around each of the communities. And with those openings of those different connections, that allows us to increase our presence in different aspects of each community.
Well said.
I think something good to add about our day programs as well is that since we do offer that community and site-based programming, say that person does not want to do the outing that is planned for that day, they always have that option of just staying back and hanging out, doing whatever they wanted to, or doing like joining that group for the day type of thing. But you always have the option to also go out in the community, which is super exciting. Like you're not tied to one service versus the other.
Really good point.
Yeah, correct on that, Kayla. Personal choice. We always advocate for the clients to have their personal choice, the individuals making choices, decisions, and facilitating their ability to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was just going to add that if you want me to email you, Shannon, I can send you some calendars. We have access to the day program calendars now, all in a nice little folder. So, okay, I'll make a note to get that sent to you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. Hopefully we were able to answer anything. Hopefully that was good. And like I said, we're planning over the next few months just to send out things like this too. Because we've realized that over the last few months this year is, we're not highlighting our day program services enough. So we look forward to doing that, to sending out stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great question.
Brian, I want to put a plug in for Backpack that we have our camping event coming up in June. I think it's our sixth annual. It's hard to say. But be looking for a flyer and we'll have information and stuff on that. So
great point, Rich. Thank you. It is the 16th, 17th, 18th of June. Cherry Creek Reservoir again. It's always a great one. Really ties in all our services really well. Residential day program. Thank you, Rich, for taking that on every year. It really is phenomenal. So if anyone has any questions on that, we could talk a little bit more about that. But as Rich said, just a fun annual camping trip for anybody within the Sport Inc. network.
It was big last year. How many people attended? Like it's at least 70 people in services, I believe.
Oh, services probably that much. And then with staff and everybody, we'd probably hit 100, 110 around there with staff and everybody coming.
So we essentially
party.
take over Cherry Creek Reservoir.
It's fun.
I
And
hope
it
you don't get
will
any noise complaints.
no. And then we're gonna also maybe try to do something in the fall. We've done and I have a committee that we kind of talk about what to do. But we may do the train ride down in Canyon City again, or we had fun with that one. We've done that one in the past, but we're gonna try to throw in at least one more event for the year. I'm not sure what that is yet, but we'll try to get one more community event um, at some point before the end of the year.
Awesome. Thank you, Rich. It's bold adventures creating opportunities and challenges, correct? I get it. The acronym backpack.
I should have it memorized, but I'm embarrassed. I don't remember.
I think
I
I
think
got
that's
it.
right.
Yeah, another
I know
really
the
good
Bold Adventures because I love that part of it. Yeah, Bold
yeah.
Adventures.
But yeah, another great program just within Support Inc. That does
And
awesome
it's the
stuff.
support we get from the staff to do it. Like I said, Mark is a tremendous help and stuff with me doing that. And we've got providers and other people that help make it the event it is. So if anybody wants to be a part of that group think, we're always looking for ideas to improve. So just reach out to me, and we'll have a meeting coming up here, hopefully within the next couple weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, Rich.
Does anybody else
Yeah.
have any questions while we're on here?
I have one that somebody wanted me to ask is where would be a good, how would be good to get information on the changes of what the state is doing in regards to finance and pay for providers and stuff like that? What's a good way to get information for that?
Was it someone on your caseload?
Yes,
Or
and I've had other people bring it up too. It's kind of a question that comes up. People are kind of wondering about the
yeah.
system and how that's going to look.
No, yeah. I think all of us are. I would definitely talk with your associate director and residential directors. Because I think everything will be a little bit different. I think things just went through potentially like last week, the joint budget committee. Laura, our quality assurance director, will definitely send things out when everything is more official. Yeah, there's potential sales of Pinnacle, which could impact things. So I think things are still up in the air. We're tracking it. Yeah, not sure the impacts yet. So I would definitely talk with your associate director, have families, providers reach out to them. Yeah, I feel like those are the best channels.
So, Rich, I'm not sure if you're talking about like all the financial changes with Medicaid and stuff. If your
Yes.
client or person is not on PADCO, that's a good source because a lot of people will post summaries of meetings from HICPUF, from all the different things that kind of from a parent perspective or a caregiver perspective. So that would be probably a good resource for them. You definitely have to manage your notifications because otherwise you'll get 42 million every day. So, I get the summary of it, but that's how, because honestly, I don't have time to look at all the government stuff all the time because it's constantly changing. We don't know if actually it's going to be implemented, but that is a good site. And that kind of helps because some people really do monitor that and gives those of us who don't kind of a good summary on that. That could be something they could look at. And then the HICPUF site also just posted a summary of some of the financial changes just from a parent to parent that might be a good resource.
I
Mhm.
appreciate that. Yeah. And thanks, Kathy, for putting that in there so I
Also,
can try to share information when people have that question.
yeah,
So
that's
thank you.
that's
Yeah.
really good. Thank you, Shannon. Also, Alliance, Rich, Kathy, I
I was
don't know if
gonna
you
say
can chime in.
Alliance, yeah.
They're a trade organization. They're like the largest lobbyist, nonprofit lobbyist in Colorado for IDD services. So a lot of stuff we get from Alliance. Um, to Shannon's point, there's just so much information, and then sifting through it, like even on the Alliance channels, there was agencies saying things that weren't true and weren't. So it's really hard to navigate right now. But PADCO is a really good one. Just families involved. Alliance is involved at the state level. HICPUF is obviously the official
Mhm.
So yeah, those are really good resources, and we'll definitely keep people updated when we have official information. I think there's just a lot that's still up in the air and a lot of debates still going on within the budget at the state level. So
Yeah, I
Hmm.
know we don't want to share stuff until we know, we don't want to keep sharing information till we have it accurate. So I know that's a great point.
yeah, it's been challenging.
Keep saying it's clear as mud on a weekly basis. So, good questions. All right. Anything else? Anything else with expansion updates, day service questions, anything like that? I'm so happy to have Brandy, Mark, and Roxy on here. I feel like we have three of the experts. I just wanted to say thanks to you guys specifically for joining us. It's really nice to have you on here. So, all right. If there's no more questions, then I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.